Picture a biblical figure who emerges from obscurity with no traceable origins, no kin, no recorded birth or death. He blesses the greatest patriarch in Scripture, accepts his tribute, and vanishes, leaving behind a puzzle that resonates across centuries. Who was Melchizedek, the enigmatic king of Salem and priest of the Most High God? His tale, tucked away in the pages of Genesis, challenges our understanding and beckons us on a quest, linking the ancient past to the eternal future. Could he be more than a mere mortal? Perhaps a symbol, a divine envoy, or even a foreshadowing of the Messiah? This story is not just an old legend, but a key to unlocking profound truths about justice, peace, and eternity. Melchizedek steps into the spotlight at a pivotal moment in biblical history, as Abraham, the father of faith, confronts mighty kings and rescues his nephew Lot. Amid this backdrop of conflict and triumph, a king priest appears, offering bread and wine, blessing Abraham, and receiving a tenth of his spoils. What makes this figure so compelling is his lack of a backstory. Scripture, meticulous about lineages, remains silent on his birth, parents, or passing. He is described as without father, without mother, without ancestry, a trait that sets him apart from all others of his time. His name, meaning King of Righteousness, and his title, King of Peace, hint at a connection to something greater, perhaps the very nature of God. This narrative is more than a theological curiosity. It echoes through Jewish and Christian traditions, raising questions that transcend eras. Who holds true spiritual authority? How do justice and peace manifest in a world of strife? And, most intriguingly, how does Melchizedek relate to Jesus Christ, hailed as a priest in the order of Melchizedek? In this script, we'll delve into the context of his appearance, the significance of his actions, and his relevance to both history and destiny. Brace yourself for a journey weaving together history, theology, and mystery, revealing why Melchizedek continues to captivate scholars and believers alike. To grasp Melchizedek's significance, we must step into the turbulent world of Genesis 14. Canaan was a battleground, with kings vying for dominance and resources. 9 rulers clashed in a fierce struggle. On one side, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, led a ruthless alliance. On the other, 5 kings, including those of Sodom and Gomorrah, fought for independence. The conflict was savage, and in the turmoil, Lot, Abraham's nephew, was taken captive. Abraham, a patriarch without a crown, stunned all. With only his trained retainers, he launched a bold assault, vanquished the invading kings, and freed Lot, earning renown as a leader favored by God. At this peak of victory, Melchizedek emerges. Without prelude, he appears as king of Salem, likely an early form of Jerusalem, and priest of the Most High God, El Elyon. He presents bread and wine, blesses Abraham, and accepts a tithe, a tenth of Abraham's gains. This brief encounter is rich with meaning. The bread and wine foreshadow later rituals, such as the Christian Lord's Supper. The tithe, freely given by Abraham, implies Melchizedek held a higher spiritual authority, acknowledged even by the father of faith. What makes this moment even more striking is the absence of details about Melchizedek. Scripture, which meticulously traces the lineages of kings and priests, offers no hint of his roots. He is unlinked to any tribe, family, or dynasty. His title, King of Salem, ties to the Hebrew Shalom, peace, and his name, Melchizedek, translates to King of Righteousness. These titles suggest he was more than a local ruler, perhaps a figure with a divine mission. Salem, meanwhile, is noted as a sacred place, foreshadowing Jerusalem as the spiritual heart of the biblical world. Why would Abraham, chosen by God, defer to this enigmatic king-priest? And how could a priest exist before the Mosaic law, which later established the Levitical priesthood? These questions point to a deeper mystery. Melchizedek was no ordinary figure. His presence disrupts the religious norms of his time, signaling that God's plan for humanity transcends human boundaries. Suggested visual: a map of Canaan highlighting Sodom, Gomorrah, and Salem, illustrating the war's movements and Abraham's path. Melchizedek's uniqueness lies in his priesthood, portrayed as everlasting and surpassing all others in Scripture. In Genesis, he is named a priest of the Most High God, yet his authority stems not from lineage, as with the later Levitical priests. The Mosaic law, which would govern priesthood, was centuries away. So, what gave him legitimacy? The answer lies in his connection to a divine purpose that spans eternity. The encounter between Melchizedek and Abraham is telling. Abraham, the patriarch destined to carry God's covenant, offer